welcome or welcome back to Tarot AF. So today I've got another pick a card reading for you all on what do they daydream about you. I'm really excited for this one, guys. So what we're firstly going to look at is the two energies within this connection, the relationship where it may currently be, so you can just identify and feel like, yeah, that is mine, or come back to the beginning and pick another pile if it doesn't quite fit. And then what we'll do is we'll look at what their daydreams are, what they're all about. So today we have got 4 piles for our pick a card reading. We have pile 1 with the Wanderer's Tarot and the Labradorite crystal for pile 1. We've got pile 2 with the Dark Days Tarot and the Tiger's Eye. We've got pile 3 with the Lunar Soleil Tarot and the Lupus Lazuli. We have got pile 4 with the Synesthesia Tarot and the Black Obsidian in pile 4. So if you've never been to a pick a card reading before, hello, welcome. So what you can do, you can take a moment, you can pause the video, see which one is drawing your eye, and what I do is I post the times in the box below and you can meet me there for your reading. I will see you then. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 1. So if you picked the Wanderer's Tarot and the Labradorite, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, like I said in the intro, we're just going to have a look at this connection, so the two energies within it, so we can just double check that it is for you, and if it isn't, then you can go back to the beginning and pick a new pile. But this connection is based off of, at the moment, it gets better, and for me this feels like a no contact, potentially separation, maybe long distance relation in some ways, which maybe there was that closeness, or potentially even a breakup for some people. Firstly, we have energy 1, which is represented by the Queen. We have mystery, we have 4th chakra Archangel Raphael, and we have blossoming abundance as well. And then energy 2, we have the shapeshifter, we have growth, we have door to spirit, and we also have door to healing and happiness. So I'm going to start with energy 1 firstly, but like I said, my first impressions of it gets better is that no contact separation or potentially breakup. But maybe you guys still have to be within the same friendship group, maybe you see each other at work or school or university. There is that feeling that there is this personal healing and growth going on for both parties, that they are focusing on themselves at the moment, whilst this connection, even if you guys are together and like I said there was distance, maybe there's that breathing room and you guys are both kind of focusing on yourselves, even if you're still seeing each other within this connection. Or maybe if it is the early stages of this connection and it's kind of building up, maybe there's still that will they, won't they feeling, and it just doesn't feel grounded quite yet. So I can see multiple things, and generally I can kind of just see this frustration or this friction, because it's not clear. There's no clarity here for either party, I think. So firstly, let's talk about energy 1. So we have got the Queen, mystery, 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, and blossoming abundance. So I feel like the Queen, as this archetype, is graceful, diplomatic, generous, and this is really reminding me of the Queen of the Tarot as well. And it doesn't matter if this energy does not identify as a feminine energy, that doesn't matter. It's doesn't matter in this respect or in the tarot. But with the Queen, there is this kind of, I feel like, obviously mystery, and I feel like the Queen knows exactly what they're doing, is allowing shapeshifter to see only what they want to see at this moment in time. And is kind of, maybe they feel a mystery within this connection and they just don't know what shapeshifter is doing, and they're like, what the hell, I feel like the shapeshifter is doing that, is flitting between different things, almost being a bit of a trickster in some ways. And I think the Queen is just like, I need to just rein in my control, because I feel like when the Queen feels out of balance, that's when you know, we all have dark sides. I feel like that's when the wrath, the anger, potentially the frustration kicks in, and when they don't feel aligned to who they actually are, and who is a very giving, established person. And I feel like shapeshifter almost feels like it rumbles the throne a bit, is what I'm hearing. And with the mystery, I think, like I said, closing a door, like leaving the gap in slightly, so filling in what they want shapeshifter to know or information, but keeping themselves almost like a ghost to them, not allowing shapeshifter's energy in, because they are focusing on their own thing at this moment in time. And I think with this blossoming abundance, they are blooming, they are growing, and they are focusing on themselves, on the things that they want to grow. There's this empress quality here as well, and nurturing those seeds, the things that they can control and the things that they want to bring about in their lives. And potentially shapeshifter is something that they see as well, but at the moment they are the kind of sprouts that they can see. That is what they are focusing on. And I think there is this hope that they'll be able to speak their heart's truth, and I think in their heart they do feel guided to this connection in a lot of ways. And that's probably potentially why this mystery is so frustrating, because they know that, and I think there's this inner knowing for both people, this almost magic, this like unsaid connection which you can't quite get your pulse on, which just runs through. I feel like the Queen is very much led by their intuition, by their gut, by their heart in a lot of ways, you know, with the Queen, and then also the fourth chakra, which is the heart. I'm thinking Queen of Cups energy, and that's all, you know, daydreaming as well, which is obviously what we're asking about, but it's healing, nurturing, reassuring energy and following your heart. So I feel like for the Queen, that is what they are trying to do, even within this connection. But I think they know that they can only get so far at this moment in time, and they can't, they have to keep themselves as the first priority to protect their energy, to protect themselves, because I feel like the shapeshifter, who I'm going to move on to now, and, you know, you may identify with shapeshifter in some ways, and you know, I feel like the Queen as well can, you know, be in a bit of mystery, close that door in some ways, or only show what they want to see. And, you know, we all have light and dark aspects to ourselves, and shapeshifter, I don't think is the villain of the piece, but I don't think they are helping situations. And I think for both people, there's not really that clarity and communication here. And so the shapeshifter, I feel like, is someone who is maybe changing their skin a lot in terms of changing what they want, or saying that they want this, and changing their actions and their words. But the thing is, energy doesn't lie, and I think that is what the Queen is frustrated on, is that there is this underlying energy here. Like, you can kind of tell from shapeshifter that maybe they are changing what they want or what they are focusing on in so many ways, but it's because they do need to follow their growth. And I think they are growing, they are learning that maybe what frustrates the Queen in lots of ways, but also what doesn't aid themselves. And I think the shapeshifter can be seen as a bit of a trickster, can be deceiving and all of those things. But I think the shapeshifter as well is versatile and adaptive, and maybe when we get wrapped in our heads in a lot of ways and we see maybe this closed door, sometimes we then do things to kind of shapeshift ourselves, like change our mask, as it were, because someone isn't giving us those signals, because that energy isn't there. So or the thoughts and words lie, but we take those. And I think shapeshifter is doing that at the moment. I think is being non-committal in some ways, because they are not sure what Queen wants, because there is this air of mystery. So shapeshifter as well, I think, can see Queen's growth and is like, I want a piece of that pie, and is kind of opening their door to healing and happiness. And I feel like they see the Queen as that in a lot of ways as well. And maybe there's this initiation into their intuition, following their gut, talking to spirit and the universe, and understanding those that kind of language in some ways. So maybe the Queen opened that door with that mystery, that intuition, that magic, or maybe they are falling into that into spirit and the universe as something that they are now embracing and trusting more, because they see that it can lead to their door to personal healing and happiness. I see this as a very intuitive, maybe even spiritual couple in some ways, but if that doesn't feel like that fits and resonates, I feel like both people are just very guided within this relationship to make it get better in a lot of ways. That, like I said, there's those undertones to this relationship where even if stuff is happening on the surface, you can tell that the energy doesn't lie when you guys are together, or when you guys are talking, or even if you're not, within daydreams and manifesting, like the energy is there. It kind of matches in that way. So Shapeshifter is growing, and also the Queen is growing, and I feel like Shapeshifter is maybe saying how, like, maybe is trying to show the Queen more how they've grown, and the Queen is showing what they want to, like, what they want them to see in terms of their growth and everything. But there is this, like I said, there is this guiding towards this relationship to amend it, because I feel like in some ways the with It Gets Better, it's whether it's in a environment where you both have to see each other quite a lot of the time, or whether it's something you guys just feel. I think there is that kind of soul connection here, whether that be soul friends or soul mates, that kind of you guys are growing and learning from one another. And I think that is all about that growth, not allowing, like, you can't change the past within this relationship, but you can make changes, which I feel like both people are doing, to plant new seeds to grow this relationship and grow yourselves. And I think both people are realizing that. So it may flip-flop, you may feel like there's a bit of both within the energies, or you may be very clear with who is who. So let's get into tarot as well. So it doesn't matter which one you identified with, that was just to ensure that you felt this pile resonated with you. So we're now going to look at what they daydream about you within this connection. So yeah, we will do that. And I think, I mean, it's so interesting that you picked labradorite as well, which is obviously a magic stone in so many ways. And yeah, this couple, I think, with this spirit and the mystery card, when I was shuffling, the mystery card came out with magic and intuition as well. So I thought that was really interesting for Queen. So if Queen, if you are Queen, maybe you even practice divination, tarot, that kind of thing, or have a spiritual practice. So we have the Sun, we have Lovers, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Fool. We had one that turned over as well, actually. I'm gonna go and find that one. Where did you go? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? I don't know. Okay. Well, if I continue to shuffle, will you fall out? That's the question. Okay. I could have sworn. I swear to spirit. Okay, I'm going to keep shuffling, and if it comes back up, then we'll take it out. There we go. Wanderer of Stones underneath the Sun as well. So spirit, oh, there you are. I think came at the right time. Right next to Wanderer of Stones is Goddess of Stones. There we go. I found it at exactly the right moment that I was supposed to. Okay, so can we clarify the Six of Swords? Clarify the Fool, and clarify the Three of Moons. Can we clarify the Three of Moons, please? I definitely feel like there is a a clear energy of the daydream. So whichever person you're asking about, I'm going to take you and put you back, but leave you on the back. So on the back we have the 8 of Moons as well. So overall with this connection, with this daydreaming, I think this need, like we were saying, to transform it is really clear within this person's daydreams. I think there is this want to, with the Sun and also the Lovers, this clarity and wisdom that comes with this, and all of their daydreams are very joyous and all about this this unity that we were talking about, and this soulmate or soul tribe connection, that there is healing and reassurance, and that is where their hopes go into how this can transform and how they feel that it is guided. There is so much joy and vibrancy and childlike wonder within this connection. And I think with the Wanderer of Stones underneath as well, and obviously we've got the Goddess of Stones as well next door, I think the Wanderer is this they can see that end goal. They can see the joy within it, and it's like they can see the destination of where you guys can go, and know that maybe this is a bump in the road or a diversion at the moment, and they just see where the stability and security in the future and the life that they can see with one another together, with you both together. And I think there is this, again, Queen with the Goddess. There, maybe you're an earth sign potentially, maybe you are, if you identified with the Queen, potentially Virgo, Capricorn or a Taurus. You don't have to be, but that's Goddess of Stones. But I think there is this matching, and how they see it as a perfect fit. And I mean, the Lovers is all very much based on the Platonic story of Zeus striking a lightning bolt to separate humans who were supposedly four-legged, four-armed creatures who would roam the world together, and now we're all separated trying to find our counterpart, essentially. And that was disregarding any gender or anything like that. So I feel like they see you as their almost other half in a lot of ways. And there is always that thing of, you know, you come to a connection whole, and I think both people are finding their wholeness, are finding their abundance within themselves. And this person, I think, sees that you are both independent people growing your own things, becoming triumphant, and have all of your own projects and goals that you are working on. But there is this undeniable, I think, for this person within their daydreams, romanticism of the connection together, and how you guys can continue to grow and learn and heal and transform. And I think there is whatever happened, and maybe within this connection there were words that were said potentially, or kind of thought baggage maybe put onto one person or both people, maybe their thoughts wrapped around them in a lot of ways, but there is this want to journey away. And also the Six of Swords can be journey by water too, so potentially if there is that distance, they fantasize about coming back, almost coming via and like picking you up on the shore and being like, I'm here, I'm back, I've left. And it is really that leaving all the baggage behind that you guys don't need to plant new seeds. And we've got the Empress again, which obviously I said I was thinking of with the Queen there. And this is again someone who has blossoming abundance, and it's also a new spring. It's, yes, there can be delays, but this is this divine feminine energy. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't identify with that or they don't, but sitting within this regal throne and really nurturing the things and growing the things, cutting out that which doesn't serve. So I feel like they almost want to get a carpet, sweep under all that doesn't serve you guys anymore, get rid of the thoughts and the energy that doesn't serve, and just have this renewal within this relationship and grow new things. Like grow your kingdom together in so many ways. And with the Fool, when the Shapeshifter came out, I thought of the Fool as well, kind of a trickster in some ways, but I feel like they see and they want to just trust and have faith, and their daydreams are all about taking that leap of faith, taking that jumping right in. And with the Death card, letting go again, this change. They want this transformation within this relationship. They want to plunge right in and trust that if they take that leap of faith, that they are going to be caught. And I think they just run away with themselves in so many ways. Like, they are almost a fool to love. And they're just like, bye to the stuff that they don't need anymore. And they just want, like I said, this change, and they want to embrace it. And they want both of you to do that together, and start this new beginning, because I think they fantasize about maybe going out with you, kind of maybe even drinking, or just in like the company of other people, like within maybe your friendship group or your workmates, or however you know them. I feel like maybe you are within like a community with one another, and they just want to be close in that way, and just like enjoying life, finding that abundance and joy within one another, and just be surrounded by your presence. Like, I think you are just such a beacon for them with this Sun as well. Like, they are just drawn to your energy. Like with the Sun, it's like that center of the universe, and I think they just keep all of their thoughts revolving to you. Like, it's almost that they can't focus on projects and stuff. Maybe if they have gone away to focus on their career or their schooling or whatever it is, maybe they just constantly, they are in the middle of a task and they're like, ding, pile one, and it's like, they have to kind of bring their thoughts back around, because they feel like what they are working towards, they can see you in the periphery. It's like they're almost, they've got their goals set in front of them for what they're doing, and they feel like they're treading that maybe on their own at the moment, or maybe they can see the end goal with you there. And I think inadvertently they're already planning that future with you, and it's like that their thoughts always go round, like, oh, pile one would love this, oh, one would love if we did this together, and like anything that they're thinking of or maybe hoping of, they just get drawn back in. And I think they are kind of, with this Four of Moons underneath the Three of Moons, I think there's this almost, again, kind of illusion and this mystery here, kind of almost they're hoping, and maybe they wake up every day, or they just hope to see a text from you or an emotional opportunity, like for you guys to be close and be together, that pops out of thin air. Like, they're kind of, when they're looking at what they don't have, they just find that hope. It's like, paradoxically, without the pain, or or without that feeling of loss, we can't then feel the hope. And I think even in their moments where they feel like, oh gosh, I feel like I'm just brokenhearted, because we had that It Gets Better in the center, I think they just get pulled through to that emotional what if. Like, I can see that Ace of Cups, that new opportunity coming, and this new renewal coming to this relationship. And I think, depending on what your situation is with this person, obviously you will identify more with one strain. I know I've reeled off quite a few here, but I think either way there is this journey on. This is not just putting this to bed of, oh, I wish that I could stop thinking. It's this, why can't I shake this feeling like this future is here with this person? And it's like, no matter how much I transform, no matter how I change, it's like I'm always trying to leap forward with this person in my mind. And I think there is that kind of coming to the shore, and I mean, I think either of the energies could easily grab their own oar in any respect, but I think they're hoping that they're the cherry on top of your cake, like that, you know, because there is that wholeness within both sides, or that growing of wholeness and feeling like each person is chasing their own thing. I think they're just hoping that if they made that approach, that it would be reciprocated, and also would end up in the way that they hope. That maybe they're really frustrated with this delay, that they can't talk and speak to you, so it's like their daydreams run away with them in so many ways, and they're like, but am I just building up in my head because I haven't actually spoken to them in a while, or I've not seen them in a while? And like I was kind of saying, I think both people are allowing each other in. Maybe Shapeshifter a lot more, or like Shapeshifter is showing much more of themselves to the world than maybe Queen is. So there's just this question mark for this person of, I know I'm focusing on myself and I'm growing the things that I want, but my thoughts just constantly keep going there, and all the good times we've shared and all the good times we could share with one another. And there is just that, out of loss, there is this hope of renewal and bringing around this change. And I think with the Three of Moons especially, there is, like I was saying, this underlying soul connection there, in terms of you want to be around each other, like attracts like, and you surround yourself which you want to be like, which is definitely what I feel like this person daydreams about, is just being around your presence. It's truly beautiful, and I feel like they are hoping to level up and grow to the same height, as it were, as you, and grow to the top of their game, which they see you as, and maybe even the pedestal. Maybe they see like they are just, you know, looking up at you. I'm hearing she's so high, but like I said, gender doesn't matter. But yeah, I think there is that that kind of pedestal that you put people on, and I think they can see you on that, and it's almost like no one matches up to you within their daydreams, like within their heads, like their thoughts always just, no matter what they're working on, just slip to you without them even thinking. And you know, I think it's so interesting with this sun in the hands, like you can, maybe they feel like they lost their opportunity to hold the sun in their hands, as it were, that joy, or maybe they're hoping that they can grab onto it again. So, my glorious friends of pile 1, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this reading. I hope it resonated with you in this pile. I'd love to hear in the comments if it did. I'm sending so much love. I hope to see you guys again soon. If you'd like to see me there, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, sending so much love. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 2. So if you picked the Dark Days Tarot and the Tiger's Eye Crystal, then this reading is going to be for you. So I'm going to set your tarot aside, and firstly we are going to look at your oracle cards for this connection. So what connects you both, the energies of the relationship of the two people. So you can assign yourself to one energy or person, and you know, hopefully it resonates, and if it doesn't, you can always go back to the beginning and pick a new pile. So firstly, this connection is based off of birth, so I feel like this could be a new connection for some, or a transformation of a maybe friendship for some people, or seeing them in a new light, this awakening, or yeah, awakening if you've known this person for ages and it feels like you're seeing them with new eyes in this new lens, potentially, or maybe they are seeing you in that lens as well with this daydreamer. So birth is what we're looking at in this connection. So the first person, we've got the Judge, and we have got love, we have got the Thinking Man, and we've also got Happy Family. And then for energy 2, we have the Mystic, we have Happiness, we also have the Temple Path, and we have rest and rejuvenation. So I'm going to start with energy 1 over here. So obviously with this birth, it's kind of that death rebirth is what I'm hearing as well, especially because the mystic is all about transformation. With the Judge, I feel like this person is very righteous and good in that way, like an advocate, wants to help other people. And maybe with this thinking man next door, I'm kind of think maybe sometimes they can be quite judgmental of themselves, potentially. I mean, everyone has that inner critic, so everyone can be that. But I feel like maybe they are judging their thoughts in this relationship, like it's kind of thoughts over heart in some ways, and wanting to follow their intuition into this new birth. But maybe they're getting wrapped up, maybe if they can't quite talk to the mystic, or whether they haven't expressed themselves. So maybe they are contemplating, thinking things through. But generally this person is someone who stands up for what they believe in, and maybe they, with this birth, this new idea, new thoughts, that's dispelling their previous thoughts. So maybe that's why the thinking man is almost being brought, like burnt through that kind of hole, as it were. But really the Judge is this diplomatic peacemaker, and wants to bring around justice in a lot of ways, wants to find that truth, that clarity, to plant new seeds, to see something else grow, to have this birth. With the happy family, I mean, this is just so reminiscent of the Ten of Cups. So I feel like you guys have, for the majority of people, I feel like have known each other for maybe some time, and there is this awakening within this connection, maybe after a period of not seeing one another for a while. Or if not, it feels like instantly there has been this unity, this harmony. And with the love as well, it comes out of that heart center, and it's almost like, because the heart feels aligned with this birth, it's like eye-opening but also heart-opening in some ways, like being open and receptive. And I feel like this is what this person feels, is that there's this deep love where, and that doesn't need to be, it can be for some people, you know, romantic love, unconditional, but either way there is just this love for the other person. They probably love what they do in some ways, but also they love who this person who this person is. And it feels like in some ways the energy is different, as in they are quite different people in some ways. Like I think the Judge is maybe quite a thinker, obviously, maybe quite analytical, logical, has to work things through step by step, has to have a plan, and likes to see the full perspective, to have the picture. But I think this has really burst through that for them, and this is one thing that they know and they feel drawn to, because they see this community and happy family, and maybe that future with mystic, and kind of, you know, all you need is love in so many ways. And the Judge does come from that place of loving other people and wanting to get those rights and be an advocate in that way, and helps people from that place of love and wanting to bring around harmony and peace. So underlying, they may look on the surface as very different people, but their intentions for the world are very similar. And with the mystic over here for energy 2, so this is someone who I feel like is obviously very spiritual in a lot of ways. We've got the temple path and rest and rejuvenation, finds happiness in their transformation. And with the mystic, they go to dark places, and like the Judge, who has to sometimes go through dark situations in order to bring around peace and harmony, to fully understand it, they go to those depths and bring back that to transform and awaken. And they are someone that goes through the unconscious, the fears and anxieties within themselves. And I feel like maybe they have gone through a period of rest and rejuvenation, or this connection has, maybe not seeing, like I said, and this person feels like they have almost transformed in their spirituality, in finding maybe a new path for themselves in some ways, and maybe has even had their third eye maybe awoken. Maybe they are a creative in some ways, and bringing around their gifts to the world, or maybe they just feel very spiritually guided at this time. We've got these orbs here on this temple path card, which would imply, you know, ancestors, spirit guides around them. So I feel like this person is finding happiness in almost finding their truth of who they are by taking that time to see what their temple path is, to see what their highest good and that path that they want to tread is. Even if it's not spiritual, they feel a calling towards it, and they feel such a deep urge that they are helping people and helping the world in that way, that they are happy to tread that path and they feel guided. And there is just this happiness, and obviously we've got eyes closed, and in the happiness card we've also got the eyes closed, which is so interesting because maybe Mystic doesn't know how Judge feels, because I was kind of saying it feels like Judge has had their eye open in some ways, or this eye is opening to this relationship. Maybe the Mystic is open in terms of their connection to their divine path in a lot of ways, but maybe they don't know the full extent of Judge's feelings in some ways, but they are happy within themselves and probably happy within this connection as well with how it's been left, or obviously maybe they are just finding contentment and enjoyment. I feel like this connection is someone that you've known for a while that is awakening new feelings, or if this is completely new, I think they're just happy with how it is, and they're almost like, I don't need to see the full path ahead of where it's going. I'm just happy knowing we're on this path, and you know, I'm centered, I'm balanced, I'm who I am, and I can slowly reveal myself in a lot of ways. But it feels like the Mystic has gone through a transformation, a birth, and so maybe they're awakening the Judge to this birth as well. Maybe they are sharing that with them, or maybe they are even inspiring that around the people around them. Maybe Judge, if they haven't seen Mystic, has seen from afar this rebirth and is wanting to understand it and all of those things. So that's the kind of two energies that we've got. So like I said, you may assign very clearly and know which one you are, but if you don't feel like you resonate with either, then maybe go back to the beginning, the intro, and try another pile. So we're now going to get your tarot, so it doesn't matter which one you identified with, we're going to get their daydream about you. So we've got the Tiger's Eye and also the Dark Days Tarot 2. This is one of my newish decks, which I absolutely love, so I hope you guys like this one too. So Spirit, oh, it was like, I'm sure they'll like it. So we have got the Knight of Swords, we have got Temperance, we have got the Five of Cups, we have got the Two of Wands, and we've also got the Two of Cups too. Brilliant. So Spirit, can we clarify the Knight of Swords, please? Can we clarify the Knight of Swords? Great. So we have got the Queen of Pentacles as well. So, I mean, we could have, in terms of signs with the Knight of Swords, one person could be a Libra, a Gemini or an Aquarius, an air sign, and one person could be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. But like I said, you don't have to have those placements. We've also got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Hierophant, we also have the Two of Pentacles, and can we clarify Two of Cups as well, please? I feel like in a lot of ways though that Knight of Swords is probably, we've also got the Eight of Cups underneath the Two of Cups, and on the back we've got the Seven of Wands. Okay, so in terms of this person's daydream, I feel like they overall daydream about communication coming in with you, and also about the endless possibilities of this relationship, and how, again, you guys can transform this relationship and kind of balance maybe even the differences that you both have, or your different dreams and ambitions, and how you guys can go from being very fiercely independent people to kind of standing on the same hill, as it were, and fighting battles together in some ways. I think, which is super exciting. is my first feeling. Like with the Knight of Swords, I feel like there is this almost wanting to charge, have communication, and maybe kind of swoop in there and say, this is how I feel, and almost just bombard with thoughts, like offload all of the stuff that they're thinking. So I feel like in some ways maybe this is judge person that you guys are asking for, but if not, I feel like maybe if you are the mystic and you still feel this connection in that way, maybe it's kind of expressing your inner knowing, your deeper knowing, and saying, this is who I am, this is what I've built. We're both independent people, we're both chasing our things, but we can run wild together in a lot of ways and take on the world. I'm hearing rule the world from Take That. So I feel like there is this charging, and it's like together we can fight battles together. We can, it's very like like quest like and fantasy in a lot of ways. Like I don't know if you guys watched potentially like Game of Thrones, or any like, or maybe played like D&D or like Risk or something like something very strategy orientated. Maybe you guys play a lot of board games in a group or setting or whatever it is, but if you don't worry. But I feel like there is just this fantasy nature to it of neither is a damsel in distress who needs saving. Both of you are fiercely independent, and it's like we can just fight any battle. Like Lord of the Rings is also coming to my mind as well. Like we can battle anything together because we're both independent, we're both rulers over what we're creating. We may be different within our careers and our journeys, but there is this kind of fantasy of charging through and almost like cutting through the things people don't need and liberating other people, freeing other people in a lot of ways. But I think again there's a swiftness of communication, saying exactly how they feel, and almost just letting it all out, let it run deep, so that they can just maybe breathe. Is I mean, I've just like gone da 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 da. I think that is that thing of they need to just let it all like loose from themselves, like all of their thoughts, and just say exactly how they feel. And with this Temperance card and the Queen of Cups clarifying, I feel like there is this alchemy and becoming an alchemist within the relationship, that you guys can find that healing and reassurance from that kind of happy family, that there is this connection, that you can balance the opposites within each other and actually kind of continue to, it's give and take, it's give and receive, and it's that balance, that harmony within one another, that you guys are both whole, and actually you just create such a beautiful picture within, and you guys both follow your hearts, and with your hearts, with your emotions forward, and that's how they feel. Like if they bring their heart to this situation, both of you can birth this together, and you will both be in a position where you both feel fulfilled and enlightened and at peace within this relationship, and reconciled. I'm hearing reconciliation as well. So maybe for some people, like I was saying, maybe there's some distance at the moment, or haven't been able to see each other in the way that you guys usually would. So maybe, yeah, just reconciling the opposites. And with the Queen of Cups as well, you know, the daydreamer of the Tower, in some ways, I think they get so lost in their emotions, in their deep emotions, when they allow themselves to be. And I think actually the thoughts and the daydreams that they have bring them back into balance. Maybe if they, either if they're judge or if they're mystic, if they really get wrapped up in their work or whatever they're doing, whatever project or goal, I think if they kind of close their eyes in some ways and look really deep within into their heart, they find that peace and that balance in just even daydreams and memories and thoughts. With this Five of Cups with the Hierophant as well, I think maybe there's been a lot of grief, not maybe within this relationship, but maybe when it comes to love, for either or both. And maybe if you have suffered a heartbreak, they can see that maybe they can, they want to treat you in the way that you deserve in a lot of ways, and kind of open that door and show you the love that they can give. But also the Hierophant is a teacher, so I feel like they want to learn a lot about you, and maybe kind of with the Five of Cups, heal from both of your past hurts in some ways and reopen a door, find a new way of living in faith and loving, and really renewing and restoring what love should be. And I think whether whoever it is that suffered the loss, or maybe it's loss from past relationships, or maybe even within this current one, if it is going through a death rebirth, if it's been a long time and you guys have been friends potentially since, but actually it's kind of awakening again, whatever grief and healing, I think they see that you guys can rise above it, and actually you guys can unlock a new door, a new love that has been like unlike any of their relationships and your relationships. And sees that that picture in their mind, and wants to, I think, know all the things that you know, and really uncover who you are step by step, because they feel like they can learn so much. And with the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles as well, it's almost this, they know, and the twos are all really about like balancing and also kind of crossroads in a lot of ways as well. Like, they see that they really want to drop the old way. They want to, of this relationship, of, or if you've been with this person and there is distance and stuff like that, I think they want to drop where it currently is, and in order to bring around something new, maybe that closeness, if there was that separation, like I was saying at the moment, maybe in distance, or maybe communication hasn't been on point, or whether this is a transformation from friends to more. I think there is that visualizing where it could go, and getting caught in how you guys can almost dominate over the world, like I was saying, with that kind of quest side as well, and really like take the world by the horns. Maybe even traveling is something that they hope to do, and kind of they want to balance this out and find this joy and recreation, and how you guys can really like ground something. And there is this kind of unity and balance again coming into play, of letting go of the past and moving forward into a new future. And with the Two of Cups and also the Eight of Cups, again, this is love. This is a rare connection, a unity, a healing, concord, maybe even soulmate connection for some people. And it's that looking at one another and seeing this rare connection and just feeling it. And I think they just get lost in that thought of the love that they have for you in so many ways. And with this Eight of Cups, I think it's whatever was between you served you guys to that point, but now it's time for kind of, it doesn't feel like a real abandonment of success in some ways and moving away from stagnant water, because there is this new love, there is this renewal, this fresh start that they see, that they already see the potential of, or maybe they are hoping is there, this new birth, this new idea to bring to this relationship. And I feel like it is a status change, as it were, like you know, from friends to more potentially for some people, or you know, maybe it's a deeper commitment if you've been seeing this person for a bit, maybe that is that relationship stage, or more, you know, potentially marriage, if that is something that you want, maybe if there's been that bit of distance or whatever. But with this Ace of Cups, I think they just see this, it's not actually leaving something behind. It's journeying towards a new fresh beginning, a new birth, which they feel with their heart that they have to follow, because they see this balance. And again, it's like, who knows where the path's going to take us, but into the unknown with you is so much better, with you by, like, with us fighting battles and you by my side. It's, you know, I can do this path. I know we could both tread this path alone and find our independence, and we're absolutely fine apart. That is okay. We're both growing our own things in so many ways, but there is so much joy with you by my side and us taking on the world. And like I said, I feel like there is traveling involved is what they're seeing as well, but just who knows where the journey's going to take us. But into the unknown with you by my side is all that I hope for, and more is really what I'm hearing. And Spirit's just saying, like, yeah, we're different. Yeah, we've got so much stuff going on. Yeah, I'm focusing on this, you're focusing on that, but you know, this is our time. This is our time to see where it goes with all of these twos as well. There's no, like, I feel like the thoughts are, because we don't have the Two of Swords, I feel like the thoughts are really like going from their mind, and they're just, when it comes to their heads, there's no flitting and toing and froing between should we, shouldn't we. It's just like, yes, it's like, what if I took this leap of faith? What if we were in this relationship? There kind of doesn't feel like there's much clouding. It feels like rising above any pain or suffering you have suffered or they have suffered in the past, and unlocking a new door within this relationship. So my lovely friends of pile 2, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today, for what they daydream about you. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I am forever grateful. I really hope to see you guys again soon. I hope this resonated with you. If you'd like to see me there, please do hit that subscribe button, and until next time, I'm sending so much love. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 3. So if you picked the Lunar Soleil Tarot and the Lupus Lazuli, then this reading is going to be for you. I'm going to set your tarot aside for the moment in time. So as I said in the intro, we're going to look at this connection, the two energies towards it, what it is based on, so that you can get a clear feeling that it is for you, and if not, you can go back to the beginning and watch that. So this is light, this connection is based on, and for me, I'm gonna put the other cards down in a mo, but this is bringing light to dark places, to maybe and obviously we're talking about daydream, so I think potentially this person may be in the periphery, or maybe looking at you from afar potentially, or maybe if you have feelings for this person, maybe it is bringing light to that. Maybe both parties or one party thought it might be requited in some way. So for some people watching this, you may not actually know the person if they have not brought their feelings to light potentially. So I'm going to put the cards down and we'll talk about each energy one by one, but if it's you that maybe hasn't brought your light to this person, that's maybe why. So that's the kind of where the connection is based on. So we have the unseen, we have peace, we have deceit, and we also have community for energy 1. And then for energy 2, we have the comic, we have passion, we have journey, and we have the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So firstly, like I was saying with the light, it's good that we're starting with unseen, I think, first. So energy 1 is unseen, and I feel like the unseen is obviously something untangible, not really there. So, or maybe this person seems a bit aloof in some ways. Maybe you're not actually seeing this person for some people. Maybe there is that need of lightness where there has been darkness, maybe where there has been no communication, maybe a separation, or that eye opening. Maybe this person doesn't see the feelings that comic has, or maybe their feelings are unseen by the comic, which is more what I'm leaning towards. But maybe it's flip-flopping as well. Maybe you haven't said your feelings, whichever energy or person you feel aligned to, and maybe they haven't either. So maybe this relationship feels, this connection feels in darkness in that way, even like in a romantic way potentially. And we've also got peace here, and next to deceit and community. So with the deceit card, paired with unseen, I feel like this is almost, maybe they are almost deceiving themselves, getting wrapped up in their own energy of, am I feeling this? Like, I want to find peace. I want to bring my thoughts to light, because there is this community feeling here. There is this like soul. So maybe they're within your friendship group, or maybe within where you work, or very close in that way, in your sphere in some respects, or maybe in a community. Maybe that's even a social media community. Maybe there's this watchfulness, and maybe they feel like they are not on your radar or not being seen. Or maybe if you identify with this, you feel like you are not being seen by this person. So energy one has that good intentions with this peace card, but they feel like they are almost, maybe if there's a relationship with the other person, with comic, maybe they feel deceitful because they're not bringing their full feelings towards the comic. Maybe they are, like I said, being watchful. Their eye is open, but they haven't really fully opened their mouth yet to this feeling that they have. But there is this warmth, there is this connection with the community card, and there is lightness, and there is obviously that draw towards comic for the unseen person. And I think as well, the unseen feels very guided towards this like a light. It's like a guiding light, and it's almost that unsaid, almost spiritual awareness of moving towards. Maybe as well with unseen, potentially this could be spirit saying this could be for some people, not everyone else. Maybe they're even within a relationship at the moment, and maybe they feel deceitful for having these daydreams about comic potentially, but that may not be for everyone. But that is one thing I'm hearing. So that's the unseen energy, and it's good intentions towards comic, but they, I think, want peace and harmony within themselves, and also this connection, and maybe for them to almost let their news or let their feelings come to light in a lot of ways. And we also have, for energy 2, the comic passion journey, second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So with the comic, there's this kind of fool, there's this silliness involved, but also this is a performer, a creative, someone who makes light of situations and can journey into those depths and really unite people through assessing the whole situation and bringing light to it, and seeing and spinning it on its head and finding the passion in life. So the comic is someone that I think brings light to other people. So it's probably is shining very brightly at the moment, and has probably gone on their own journey. Maybe they've even packed up their bags away from the unseen person in some ways. Maybe this person, if there was this closeness and then darkness period, maybe they feel unseen by the comic at the moment. But the thing is, the comic in a way always knows who's within their audience. They always have that eye contact. So I feel like the comic probably does know the unseen is there. But with the journey card, I think the comic is following their passions, is following something deep within themselves, that they've always felt that calling to. And it's almost like the fool's journey, and the comic can be seen as the fool card within our tarot in so many ways. It's taking that leap of faith, trusting, having faith. And again, with the second chakra, this is guided obviously by an archangel, but also it's that creativity, intimacy. It's that finding that feeling, that core strength within yourself and following your passions, going there to nurture that within you. So I feel like the comic is going through this transformation stage, or if they've always had that within them, they are just focusing on that much more. And there's almost a journey away from where they were to their own guiding light. And maybe with the unseen, they do have this passion. They do see maybe them as someone that they can be open and honest and maybe even intimate with in some ways, but who they can bring light to. And maybe they want this feeling to feel lighter in some ways. Maybe if they're like transmute this energy, maybe if it has felt dark or if there hasn't been very much said, maybe there is that want to bring light and be within that community again. But the comic is very much, I think, focused on their creativity at this time, and their kind of, I'm hearing place in the world, but I think finding their light and shining that bright. Like maybe for some time they felt like they haven't been doing the work that they have wanted to in some ways, and this is their time where they've released that which doesn't serve, so they can trust and have faith and jump in towards their light, their guidance. And I think the comic sees the unseen. Maybe they don't that I think they can see in the periphery maybe this person, or can't fully, like, I think they know that the unseen is there kind of waiting, but maybe they don't know the full extent of the unseen's feelings is my feeling about this. I think the comic sees passion and sees maybe their passions and lighting up, and obviously we've got the community here, so maybe sees them within the community and sees them as someone who brings out this creativity within them and this intimacy and all of those things. So I think the comic as well has that drive and that light and sees that person, but I feel like both people haven't said their feelings towards this connection, and if that doesn't resonate with you, then maybe go and watch another pile. But that's the energy that I'm receiving. So let's look at tarot. So it doesn't matter which one you identified with, or maybe it flip-flopped slightly, like I was saying. Maybe there's quite a lot of energy mixed up in there, so maybe you feel kind of guided towards both. Maybe there's elements of both within you, especially if you're within the same community. Maybe you've been going through very similar transformations at the moment. So let's have a look at your tarot as well. And obviously it's all, words and thoughts can lie, but energy doesn't. And that's what we're picking up really on kind of daydreaming. But, their thoughts, they may not act on in that way. So this is what they daydream about. So we have got the Magician. So very captivating in a lot of ways is what I'm hearing. Firstly, we have the Hanged Man. We have Strength as well. Do you want to be up or down? King of Cups. Up, please. And we have, I'm going to put both back in and shuffle. Again, there we go. Page of Wands as well. Great. So can we clarify the Magician as well? Okay, so we have got the Knight of Swords. Clarify the Hanged Man. We have got the Chariot. Clarify Strength for me, please. Oh, okay. Page of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands finally, please. And the Queen of Cups. Interesting. Okay. So I feel like this person, their daydreams really, really go towards this, I think, communication of wanting to communicate their feelings, and that is where their thoughts go of the what if I jumped in, what if I had that feeling of just taking action, because I feel like there is that sitting and that almost no action at the moment, that period. And this person is saying, what happens if I put all my willpower, my courage, and I was brave? What happens if I just took that leap of faith and just trusted that I was going to be able to bring around and manifest the future that I see for us? And with the Knight of Swords, there is that swift communication, that need to offload and almost overload with their feelings and just say it how it is, that rush in. And I think as well, show how powerful they are in a lot of ways, and like trust in their power and be like, yes, I can bring around this. Like, if I was like, it is all this if I was completely guided, if I completely trusted this path, if no boundaries were in front of us with this Chariot card, if no obstacles were in our way, we would be there. In my head, I can see it. And with this Hangman, they kind of, I think they're like, I want to let go. I want to let go of the obstacles, of any things within my head, or anything that is standing in the way of this connection. Maybe there could even be third party for some people in some ways. Maybe they're kind of saying, oh, you know, if that person wasn't with this person, or, you know, if potentially, maybe if they have a partner, maybe they're kind of thinking, maybe they almost forget their partner in that moment when they daydream of you and their thoughts drift, and they're like, oh, you know, what if I was on a different path completely? What happens if I had surrendered? And there's that kind of what if of, maybe they had the opportunity to say, or the opportunity to surrender to their feelings and show you this enlightenment in a lot of ways, and maybe they didn't take that and they actually put the roadblocks in front. So maybe they've had those opportunities to jump, those opportunities to say, yes, this is it. And I think they see that if they'd maybe trusted and had faith, they could have been in a completely different place. It feels like if they almost like go back and regress, and they're like, you know, okay, so say I took 2 steps back and I'd made a decision there, because obviously they have free will, and maybe they had the decision between maybe 2 people, or to pursue a particular journey potentially. What happens if I'd stayed, or what happened if I'd said how I felt? So instead of daydreaming about the future, I feel like it's almost getting stuck in the past and going back. With the Strength and also the Page of Pentacles as well, I feel like they say, you know, what could we build together? And with this Ten of Pentacles right next door and this King of Cups, like, emotionally, if we both said what we wanted, what could we build? And we could grow such a great thing together, and just play and have this unformed sensational world. And maybe they feel like the unformed sensation is within this relationship, and maybe that's what they daydream about. I don't feel like you guys have had a relationship in the past, but I feel like they're, you know, we can nurture each other, we're both so strong, we're both so fierce, we can create and do anything we want. I get really strong like Moulin Rouge vibes, like we can be lovers, we can't do that. And it's that back and forth feeling that they have, like in that Elephant Love melody that Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor sing. Like we are so strong, we are so independent, we can do all of this, like we can take on the world, we can take on the stars. We're both magical people, and it's that kind of, you know, what if we did this, what if we did that? And I think they see endless possibilities here within this relationship. Like, you know, you can overcome challenges, you can overcome things together, you can shift perspectives, and this is all raw energy. We can literally, it's like we could disappear from the world and do our own thing and find our strength, find who we are. and that's really the daydream of like, what if we just cut off contact with everyone and like went into the woods and bought a cabin? It, like, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this person in terms of their daydream. And with the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, it's like we can build our own wealth, we can build our own security, our empire, and we can follow our heart. With the King of Cups as well, I feel like this is this, again, emotional offering. Like, I want to be there to be this emotional stability. I am maybe they dream of being this emotionally secure and stable person that can, you know, provide everything you need in terms of love. And literally, that's Ewan McGregor singing "All You Need Is Love" is literally coming to my head, and it's like, that's all we need. Like, together we are each other's security and stability, and we don't need anything else. It doesn't matter about the money or what we're doing in our jobs or career. If we have each other, that's all we need. And I think they're saying, what if I was enough? What if that was, in terms of their daydreams, like, what happens if that was it? And I think with the Ten of Pentacles as well, for some people, maybe this is not what you want, but I think they see this legacy, this family, the children, grandchildren surrounding, and just being like a stable foundation, a stable rock throughout that for you. And that's their dream, that they can almost catch that crown, grab hold of it, and be the ruler of their emotions in so many ways, and tell you exactly how they feel. With the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands as well, so we've got the King and the Queen. So maybe they're hoping, I think they think that you are their perfect match in terms of emotions. And I think, again, it is that we've got all the emotion there, and maybe they dream of you saying, you know, I love you, and all of those things, and that you are enough, and get caught up in that feeling. And with the Page of Wands, it's again this enlightenment that we can be unformed, we can do whatever we want, we can go after our dreams, we can go after our desires. Nothing ties us down. Let's just uproot our lives and go and do and search for what we want to be, but we're faithful, we're lovers together. And with the Queen of Cups, it's that let's just follow our hearts and really get lost in the daydreams. Like, whatever you're dreaming of, I want to go and do, I want to do too. Like, I'll follow you wherever you'll go, sort of thing is their general feeling in this daydream. And I think there is just this warm embrace that they feel when they're around, and that you are nurturing and reassuring, and that you both can help one another grow. And that, again, underlying for this person is love is all you guys need. All the other obstacles and barriers, let's just get rid of them. Let's just follow our intuition. Let's follow this raw energy and create what I know we can create together. Their daydreams are very like, and you know, you have to work, you have to pay your bills, all of those things, but their hopes are very like just based off their impulsivity and their intuition and their feeling. That's all they care about, is this raw energy of what could we build. And there's that kind of, maybe like I was saying, that kind of, what if I had taken that journey, where would we be now? We would be doing whatever we wanted, we would be at least in each other's arms, even if we didn't have exactly all the career and maybe job or schooling or whatever it is that we maybe have in our lives now, but we'd be raw, we'd be doing what we wanted, or we'd just be together with each other, by each other's sides. And I feel like they kind of see that maybe the path that they could have tread, or maybe it's even a parallel path. Maybe they're like, okay, so we both journeyed away from each other inadvertently, or one person took a road off, but it's like the paths can cross. And I think they're seeing, like, even though we carved away, I wish maybe I'd gone that path, or whatever it was, but they can see that hope of it crossing in the future. And yeah, Moulin Rouge, I don't know if that is resonates with you in any way, but I am literally hearing the whole soundtrack in my head right now, but specifically Elephant Love melody, and it's that maybe even they imagine you maybe potentially even in different decades and timelines and stuff like that, like what happens if we were in France, or like in terms of like, you know, history, like what if we were in the Tudor times, or what if our love has transcended all of these like decades and years and lifetimes. So that might be for some people, but yeah, there is this future stability and security that they see, and they imagine the life that you guys could lead together, following what you love and doing the things that you want to do and build, and kind of like, yeah, going wherever you will go. Like I'd follow you to the moon and back with the chariot, like I'd follow you to the stars, and I just want to trust and have faith and get past those obstacles, whatever they may be, and manifest the life of our dreams together. But there is this like I said, that what if of what if I'd said it, or what if I say it, would they reciprocate? So maybe sometimes their thoughts kind of, maybe if they slip into this daydream of, oh wow, we could be there, we could do this, we could have done that, they then like, oh but I haven't said anything, they maybe don't know, or maybe their thoughts trampled over you before in some ways, or that kind of thing, or it wasn't requited for some people potentially, maybe it was unrequited, it wasn't reciprocated, but yeah, there is that kind of hopefulness there. So my lovely friends of pile 3, and like I said, you know, daydreams and thoughts and words and actions can lie, energy doesn't. So, you know, if this is in their head and their daydream and their thoughts, you know, they may never act upon this in some ways, and like I said, especially if there's obstacles and obstructions, they may be on that path and they may hope that the paths cross and everything, but energy doesn't lie. If their energy towards this relationship doesn't, in like actual terms, in actual physical reality, express this, then that's hard, and you know, they may never act upon this, but you know, there is so much hopefulness here. So especially if it's the unseen, and both parties, maybe if there's no other third party in some ways, and it's distance or a period of darkness, if you guys haven't seen each other and it's kind of feels like a ghost town in some ways within your relationship, maybe these will be brought to light. So obviously people will be in different relationships and different scenarios, but energy doesn't lie. So know the energy of the situation and the energy that you are receiving from this person when they are in front of you, or when they are messaging you, or whatever that is. So my glorious friends of pile 3, I'm going to leave this reading here for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really hope it resonated with you guys. Like I said, I loved reading your cards. I really hope to see you guys again soon. It was such a pleasure. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I hope to see you guys there. Bye. Hi lovely friends of pile 4, so if you picked the Synesthesia Tarot and the Black Obsidian, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, I am going to get your oracle cards. So this is going to be what this connection is based off at the moment, the two energies within the relationship, so you can double check and feel that this pile resonates with you and your situation fully, and if it doesn't, you can go back to the beginning and pick a new pile. So firstly, we have trust. So I feel like this relationship is based on this trust. So even if, so I can see a plethora of examples for this, and we'll go deeper within each one, but I feel like ultimately there is trust, maybe that this relationship, this connection is real, and that the thoughts and feelings which maybe have built up, the energy doesn't lie to you, and that there is this trust even if you can't see the full path together, or if there is that separation, that distance, no contact potentially, or maybe it's just trusting that things are where they are for a reason. There is a purpose for whatever the situation is at the moment, and that you don't need to know the full thing. You trust this person, or you trust the energy that is there, that, you know, things will either come to light, things will be brought about. And it is this kind of like residing and surrendering this to the universe in some ways for some couples, I think. So, you know, whether that is maybe people have gone through a breakup with this person, maybe there is that no separation, no contact, maybe people they're doing their own things for some time, or they're in a relationship but not seeing each other all the, like, you know, constantly. So I feel like there is a mixture in here, and like I said, I'll delve in. But the first energy is represented by the self and also happiness. We also have the temple path and storm warning. And for energy 2, we have the father, and we have creativity. We also have happy family, and we have the world too. So I'm going to look at energy 1 at the moment, and you may assign yourself to 1, or you may feel like there is a mixture of you in both. So like I said, feel each one as I'm talking, and maybe you'll assign yourself to 1 and then the other person to the other. So with the self, firstly, this is someone who I feel like has weathered a lot of storms emotionally within their lives, but has realised that they are one and all of the emotions that they are feeling. They are the full prism and the full spectrum, and every single part of them has a place. And maybe this person has undergone some shadow work, asking themselves deep questions of what they actually want. But I feel like it's more that this person is realising that they are the alchemist of their lives in loads of ways, and actually that they can walk this higher spiritual path. And in order to do that, they have to search within for what they really want. And actually that their light, their pearl within, shines forward and will guide them to the avenue. And every single part, it's like almost coming to terms with happiness in themselves. Like, I feel like there has been a lot of imbalance within their life, and maybe they are trusting themselves and trusting potentially this connection as well as the whole, you know, that self-discovery, that self-enlightenment and path. I feel like there is a lot of happiness and trust towards this connection, and maybe they can be themselves and show a lot of the faces or the masks or the differences between, like, among themselves to this person, and that they can be open and honest, and that this person will understand all of the things that they have been through, or try to at least, and how that has made them this person that they are in front, this version of themselves, and how they are stepping a new path. So maybe, you know, this person maybe in the past had self-destructive tendencies or something, or, you know, or just got wrapped up in the storm of things that they didn't want and they didn't need, and they felt like they just got caught up in life in the whirlwind. But now there is this calmness, there is this rest and rejuvenation, which I feel for this person. And maybe it's even the storm of this relationship. Maybe it happened so quickly and bypassed and like left a void in some ways, if there is this separation, no contact with the father figure. And the father figure, that this does not have to be your father, that if you identify with the self, but the father energy. And, you know, maybe they feel that, maybe they felt that black void, and actually of what they left, that feeling that they left, maybe they didn't realize it at the time, and now they found happiness maybe in how that carved a new path. Maybe it unlocked something that they hadn't thought about, or maybe they hadn't been able to trust their feelings in the past, and this kind of upheaved them and upended them, but they have been growing brighter. For me, this really feels in some ways like twin flame, and that may not, you may not identify with that, but usually with twin flame relationships, one person, and in this case I'm feeling father, kind of came in, maybe showed feelings, or upended and left a bit of a storm, and then disappeared, left potentially. And with the self, they then have to kind of burn bright, follow their light, find their light and burn brightly. And it's kind of that runner runner kind of comes back, and it's not that the self runs towards the father, but almost like the father is attracted back, and it's like, oh, the self, it's a hard one to really pin down and understand fully unless you feel that you are in one of those relationships. But they challenge you, they help you grow, they help you discover those sides of yourself. And both people, the father and also the self, have those dualities, and everyone does, but specifically within this relationship, showing those sides to one another. So with the self, I feel like they are stepping onto the spiritual path, feel guided by their ancestors in that way, or they are just finding their happiness within, realizing that their body is a temple, and they can find happiness within this connection of what was, that actually the destruction that maybe the father left in some ways has opened them up to this temple path in trust, in faith in the universe, which maybe they might not have discovered in some ways before, and actually realize that it's kind of like that hatched, like the father almost cracked the egg, as it were, and now they are hatched and ready to emerge in some ways, and they've emerged into themselves, and they felt so much happiness, and maybe happiness at the thoughts of this person as well, even if there was a bit of a storm warning. Maybe they've shifted perspective of this relationship and trusted it happened for a reason. If anything, that they feel this higher calling, this higher path, maybe for themselves as the self, or maybe for this relationship. So with the father as well, so we've got creativity, happy family, and the world. And with the father, this is like I said, duality, two faces in some ways, like a nurturer, a giver, an authority, someone who, it's very much Emperor spirit, gives stability and security, and maybe wants to grow that relationship and all of those things, and have trust and faith, and maybe is very creative in their approach, or feels enlightened in this way by this relationship. But the father can also abandon and disappear and ghost potentially, and feel aloof and all of those things. So it's very interesting of happy family, of almost giving this feeling, this connection of this person, this self person is my community. I feel healing and reassurance. I almost want that 10 of cups, that full heart with this person, and trust and have faith that we are going to build that life together. And obviously everyone sees family and their wants for family in the future as different. Some people want children, some people don't, or whatever that is. But there is this contentment, but then also with the world, and also this side of the father, and I think it's a coin as well, or it's a symbol in some way. I think it's an earth symbol, but it kind of looks like a penny to me. And with the world, it's almost like chasing other things and chasing their career goals, maybe for some aspects, or their security, and setting their sights on the world and going after that. So maybe they feel like they have things to dominate over, that they need to go and trust and have faith. But also the world, it reminds me of the world card in our tarot, of that completion, that wholeness. And maybe there's a trust that the end sight, I feel like there is that we may be separated at the moment, or we may not be talking, but there is this trust that maybe both people are almost feeling the same, that even though there might be this distance, there's almost that unsaid thing, that trust and faith, that they can kind of let go, and like this has been illuminated for a reason. Maybe they are even a creative person in some way. Maybe they're an artist, an actor, a director, that kind of thing. But if not, maybe just very creative within their career. But it feels like the wind, and with anything, with nature, it's in cycles. So maybe they are kind of maybe this connection has gone through that winter period, that no contact, that separation, and things feel like they're thawing out, or will be thawing out, and light is going to be brought. But there is just this level of faith and fire within this relationship. And I keep going to twin flame keeps coming up for me is something that I'm hearing. The kind of fire, the igniting, the passion within this relationship and this connection, and that is all based on challenges and lessons, and you know, how you guys grow individually and burn bright together as well in a lot of ways. So like I said, if that feels like your relationship, then the daydream next coming up, it didn't matter which side you kind of felt, the tarot is for both sides. So let's have a look, see, shall we? So we'll have a look at what they're daydreaming about for you. And I said it to the other groups as well. Obviously, words and thoughts and actions can lie, but energy doesn't. So this daydream, these are obviously going to be deep thoughts and from their unconscious, so usually from their energy. So, but whether they ever act on these is something else entirely. So, you know, take that as you will. You know, they may never act upon these, even if it is there. So let's have a look. So Spirit, what does Power Forward person daydream about them? Okay. We've also got the Page of Wands here as well. Ooh. Okay, we have got the Five of Cups and the Sun. I think you're actually supposed to be the other way around. There we go. Okay, so Spirit, can you clarify the Five of Wands for me? The Death card, the Seven of Swords, and the Two of Wands. And clarify the Page of Wands, please, for me, Spirit. And we've got the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and on the back we've got the Queen of Swords as well, which I will remember too. Okay, so yeah, this is very, very interesting energy in terms of opening the door for something new, and having that change and that shake up, especially after, like I was saying, a lot of maybe destruction or storm that maybe has come through this relationship. It's kind of, I want to talk about that first, actually, instead of starting over here. I kind of want to start over the Seven of Swords and Five of Wands, because it feels like the storm warning will be different for different people. And it may have come from a mixture of both people. It may have come from one person. And, you know, we don't want to play the blame game, essentially. But either way, what was. And I feel like this person daydreams about the reconciliation after that, of maybe if they hadn't done that, how the different future, how it would have skewed, and the what if of that moment. Maybe if they didn't get involved in other people's opposing wills and desires, maybe if they'd actually cut the bull in some ways and had been less, I feel like in some ways there was probably almost this banter as well, this back and forth, but also maybe they got caught up in what other people were saying and doing and what they wanted and other people's energy, that they actually didn't transform this relationship maybe in the way that they were hoping, or actually show their point. And maybe they're like, what happens if I just release that? What happens if I released everything of what other people were saying and doing and feeling, and I just focused on my transformation and what I want in this connection? And with the Seven of Swords as well, you know, if there was like lies, deceit, or kind of a plan, maybe one person's plan was different to another or something like that, that I feel like there wasn't a full perspective in a lot of ways. What happens if that hadn't happened? What happens if I'd just trusted, like we saw? And, you know, what would we have taken on, that world, that image in the background? I feel like this is probably, for a lot of people, the father in a lot of ways. But if it's not, I feel like you see them as more the self, I think they they see like this world, the world of opportunities, the visualization of where we could have gone, who we could have been, how we could have rose up from this sorrow and actually like had this change and this liberation and this freedom. And I think with the King of Wands and the Sun, again, we've got fire energy here. And I mean, I think the King of Wands is this change, this instigator of change, someone who is who follows their passions, their wills, and who wants to follow the sun. And I think they see this joy and clarity and wisdom and this this release, this harmony within this connection. And I feel like their thoughts always go to you. Maybe if they are a creative, like I was saying, I feel like they or whatever it is that they're doing, whatever it is they're creating or inventing or bringing about, they constantly, maybe unintentionally, their thoughts go to you, their daydreams, or when they put it into their art or their project, whatever they're doing, they always gravitate. The sun is that pull that brings our universe together, the center of it. And I think that's what pulls them together, like actually unintentionally, all of their daydreams and all of their thoughts or whatever they're building is kind of wrapped up in you. And I feel like it's this Ace of Cups, this emotional renewal that they want. And maybe they were like, what if this person just reached out, or what happens if I had the opportunity to show my heart and all of those things. And I think they daydream about maybe if they hadn't caused suffering and grief, or maybe if it's the self, maybe whether that grief hadn't come about or that feeling of loss. What happens if, you know, that emotional cup came to them? There is just this, I think, this clean slate that is wanted, and to rise above the pain and sorrow and getting caught up in other people's messes, and also their thoughts and the kind of deceit or the underlying, and, you know, making a new plan for the future in so many ways. And I think with the Five of Cups, it's that I think they know either way that I think both people have suffered their own terms of loss of pleasure, that they both people are grieving this relationship in their own ways and are kind of leveling themselves up, following their world and seeing the journey of what could be ahead, and are hoping, and maybe they are hoping for this Ace of Cups maybe to come from you. Maybe they're saying, what happens if I did that? I think there's a mixture of different scenarios here of like, okay, how would scenario A play if I reached out? What would happen? Oh, would this happen? And what happens if they would, you know? And I think there is this like full heart and offering of growth and a new emotional opportunity that they hope for, that they visualize, that they can see the dominion, the whole reign. And maybe there is also this traveling, this like lust for taking on the world in some ways, but ultimately I think there is this just transformation, that they want change and they crave that change in whatever state your relationship is within. And with the Page of Wands as well, there is this faithfulness, there is this love and this, again, message. And I think they're hoping that maybe there is this message of a new opportunity. Maybe it's a new opportunity that will bring them closer to you. Maybe it's a new job opportunity or an offer of stability and security that they could offer you and give to you in some ways. And I feel like they want that enlightenment or that message, or maybe just a grounding and a commitment from you in some ways, that they wish that they could just have that talk again. Maybe they realize that they are not the ones that they don't have, I feel like they feel they don't have the power to reach out to you in whatever way. Maybe if they did cause that destruction, they were like, it's not my place, but if they did reach out to me, you know, of course I would be there following my intuition with it. And I feel like in some ways that is what they are hoping for, is just having that trust and faith in the universe, because that is what the aces are all about, a fortuitous moment in time which we can grab hold of and ground. It's a seed, it's a start, it's the beginning of sensation and emotion and bringing that about. And this is really that, the Ace of Pentacles is that seed, something that can be grounded and grow and pour all the emotional opportunities in. It's like, what happens if I was just given that one chance? If I was given that, it's like, I can hear Take a Chance on Me, ABBA. Like, you know, I'm here, I'm kind of waiting. I know I effed up in a lot of ways, sorry. I know I messed things up within this connection. Like, if I had the chance and I could plant something new and grow something new, I would be there, and I would give my attention, I would give the sun, I would give the the water, I'd give it everything it needed to grow, all of that, like, and kind of that just do it momentum, that we can cut out that which doesn't serve anymore and move forward. And like, I think they want to say, you know, I am a King of Wands in this way, or maybe they even see you as that. Like, I feel like I'm matching your energy. I know that you are an instigator of change, that we can turn this around, that we can change this together. And there's this inspiration as well from this relationship that I feel like they get. And with the Queen of Swords, I feel like within their daydreams, they have this hope of rising above and changing, and then I feel like they get snapped back down to reality in a lot of ways of, well, you don't have contact, or you can't see them, or you don't have the full picture, you don't have that perspective, you caused them sadness, potentially you caused them pain, if that was them, or they caused you pain, or they caused you this, if it was daydreaming the other way round, depending on flip-flopping, you know, they maybe, you know, they haven't reached out, and I feel like inner critic comes back and kind of pulls them from that in whichever way they go, and they're just like, but they're caught up with other things, they're doing other things still, and it's that thing, actions speak louder than words. And actually I'm still here, and I don't know the thoughts, I don't know what's going on the other side, and I haven't had that emotional extension yet, and I'm healing from the pain and loss. And even if, you know, maybe there's that movement forward in some respect, if this is an old flame in some ways, and you've been with other people, maybe potentially, there is that still, you know, we haven't healed, we haven't really buried the hatchet of what was. And actually in some ways that means the energy is still there. Like, even if I have a change of perspective and a change of view, you know, we actually haven't spoken about it, so I don't know what energy space they are in some ways. So I feel like their thoughts kind of disrupt any kind of daydream and what if that they have, and kind of bring them back down into the practicalities of the situation. But there is that trust again card that was obviously what the it was based on, and I feel like there is this trust that from both sides, that hopefully even if there isn't that perspective, and even if there is pain and stuff that still needs to go through, that there is that trust that you guys will renew this relationship in some way. And kind of, it's almost like your gut and your instincts are drawing you closer together again, and you know that, like, there is that intuitive knowing, like, this isn't done, that this isn't buried, that, and I feel like for a lot of people, like, we're going to be in each other's lives. I trust and have faith that that is it, and that I've trust that I have met this person for a reason. And it feels like this is not the full stop, the closed door for a lot of people, that there is still, like, maybe that chapter needs to be put to bed now of what was, but you guys have actually both changed, and I think you have both instigated change within yourselves, realised the duality, and actually, because you are different people now from what you were, like, think about how much you've changed in that time since seeing them, they have too, that actually this is going to be a new chapter with a new person potentially is what they are hoping. And I think what you are possibly hoping for, and having trust and faith that is the way. So even if the reality and the practicality, you need both. You need that emotion, that feeling, and the plan ahead. Maybe is that hope that, you know, in the future there will be a plan to meet up, there will be a plan to see the transformations within each other, and also maybe rebirth this relationship and give it a go. And you know, it doesn't feel like I said, a full stop ending. It feels like a ... And those are the hardest as well, where the door is slightly ajar. And that's where closure is needed in a lot of ways. And, you know, that kind of, are we staying, are we going? And maybe you feel the door is fully shut and you're like, no. But when you have that door closed, that lack of known security within the relationship, sometimes a window opens. So I think for both parties, maybe there is that trust that you guys will find a way out of that, whether it's friends or something more. But I feel like this person just wants to be around, wants to have that happy family with you once again, with the father card, but also over here with the temple path. Like, there is a higher spiritual reason for you guys being in each other's lives, stuff to learn, stuff to grow from. So I feel like both people are intuitively guided. Like, there's that gut feeling like we're in each other's lives for a reason. Maybe you're not quite sure what that is, maybe what the chapter title is, but it feels like it's like there's still stuff to be written for you guys within this relationship, because you guys are doing your own personal healing, your personal growth, and challenging that within one another, rising above old habits, breaking out of those, and really becoming alchemists of your life, and blending together the things that you want to do so you are whole and strong as individuals, that burn bright like literally that King of Wands and that Sun, that burn bright in your own sphere, and you have your universe and your world in store in a lot of ways. Like, you are becoming the creator of what you want, and then together maybe there is that trust and faith that things will blend and kind of be alchemized. I don't even know if that's a word, alchemized, I'll look it up after but like, things can be blended, and there's that temperance, that reconciliation that you can bring and blend it all together. So, but like I said, you know, thoughts, words can lie, energy doesn't. And the energy of the situation of when you guys, or if you guys meet, will show that. But I think the daydreams are hopeful, and that what if I hadn't done that, and you know, the next chapter of what could be, you know, if we saw, and how we saw that we'd both changed in so many ways. So my glorious friends of pile 4, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. I hope it resonated with you. I'd love to hear in the comments if it did. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards today. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. If you'd like to see me there, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I really hope to see you guys there. Sending so much love. Bye.